Exit the Gungeon hit the market last year, it was a launch title for the brand new Apple Arcade. At the time, it was interesting to see a title developed to use responsive control inputs redesigned for a touchscreen. Now, developer Dodge Roll Games is taking their mobile game to consoles, which just might be the best way to experience it. Taking place immediately after Enter the Gungeon, the Gungeoneers learned that for every time warping bullet that was shot, the Gungeon was breaking within itself to the point of collapse with everyone in it. To escape in time, the Gungeoneers have to take specialized elevators while fending off the usual enemies. Exit the Gungeon still uses tongue-in-cheek humor with a returning cast of characters for fans to enjoy references from the first title. Being that this game was developed for mobile devices, the game retains a fun and short burst appeal. The most significant addition to the series is jumping, which the narrative refers to as vertical dodge roll, which introduces a new core mechanic. Simply put, as long as the Gungeoneer is in the air, they will have invincibility. With no limits to dodging or jumping, players can continuously avoid bullets, though they will not be able to fire their weapons since shooting can only be done from the ground. Making a return to this series is the blink ability to get rid of all bullets on screen. Additionally, the vast arsenal of weapons can be found throughout a run makes a return, only this time there isn't a need to look for them. This time around, the Blessed Run power-up given to the player is given to the player by the sorcerers from Enter the Gungeon. This is a new mechanic that randomly changes your weapon. However, this is all dependent on the player's skill. The more players can avoid bullets and kill enemies, the more likely they will be granted powerful weapons that even bosses can't defend themselves against. On the other hand, the more damage a player takes, the higher chances they will receive a lower tier weapon, requiring more effort to fight back. When a run starts, players begin with a standard pistol and a few basic enemies to fight. Throughout the game, the gun changes every few seconds or so while the enemies rise in difficulty. These sections differ from which Gungeoneer is being used, but the structure is pretty much the same across each character. The first set of sections takes place on small elevators to fight on. After surviving a wave, players then move on to the next section, which range from larger platforming rooms to auto-scrolling rooms with mini bosses, again depending on the character that is being played. This is where Exit the Gungeon begins to differ from its predecessor. The levels are made in sections due to pick up and put down nature of mobile devices. Fans who enjoy adventuring, extras, and secrets from the first entry won't really find that here. Exit the Gungeon trims off most of those features for a more focused game. Thankfully, the core gameplay works on consoles, if not better than mobile, because of the responsive controls instead of auto shooting with on-screen analog sticks. There are opportunities to save prisoners between sections when you pay for keys from the resourceful rat. These prisoners have resources to help you with your journey, like Cadence and Ox, or the old man who sells characters new items or a chest respectively. Most players that unlock a Tori can buy and collect hats from him. Finally, there are numerous bosses to encounter, all of which act differently from one another and will take multiple runs and characters to get through them all. Exit the Gungeon's unique weapon mechanic can be your best friend or your worst enemies during these encounters, but one thing is for sure, your skills will be put to the test. An issue I have with Exit is just how much reused assets there are throughout the adventure. Sprites, music, animations are pulled from the previous game, which makes it feel like I've seen a lot of this before. Sure, seeing reused asset isn't something totally new, but given that this provides a unique experience within the series, remodeling some designs would have complemented the new system. Exit the Gungeon made a smart move to take its adventure to consoles. The result is a fun, skill-based gaming experience. The game can be enjoyed in small bursts or long play sessions to hone your skills during each run. The only downside is the amount of things to do here is limited from what the mobile version could accomplish, which makes its entry to the series a bit lacking. Regardless, I found this version to be the best way to play. Noisy Pixels gave an Exit the Gungeon an 8 out of 10. Thanks for watching. Noisy Pixels is ran by a group of gamers who work hard to give you news, reviews, previews, and more. Please subscribe here on our YouTube to keep up with all of our latest videos.